right, so welcome to the
Did
Tranquil Gi podcast.
Did you check levels?
Checking levels. It's
Sorry,
it's
1, 2,
fine.
3, 4.
Yep, are we all good? And
I'm
start
going.
recording.
Am I going?
I think we're all good.
Yeah, you can start that intro again. Sorry, I didn't mean to ruin it.
That's okay. We've started now.
Oh,
It's
this is the intro.
Yeah. All right, so we got our guest today is Kristoff. Finally, we wanted to get Kristoff for a while now. So if you can,
Cheers for having
you
me.
can go
Oh, look
like
at
this
that.
if you want.
The luxury in here is
It's too much, eh?
it's way
Yeah.
better than it looks from the outside.
Fireplace,
Yeah.
like drinks.
That doesn't work though. It's
It does,
Oh,
does
it's
it?
for sure.
well, it does.
So-
I need gas bottles, which I don't have.
Yeah,
Ah,
right.
he's got a lit candle over there, so you get like this aroma
It's
going
very-
on.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right. We've got
Very
our
good.
Insane,
Nice.
isn't it? Tranquil Gi.
Anybody that hasn't been on here, I highly recommend it so far. Get a free drink.
yeah. There we go.
Cheers. Cheers.
Got our magic mic.
Oh yeah, let's not call it that. You haven't heard that episode? What's this? What's this actually called?
Macro mic.
Yeah,
Oh,
he goes, "I'm drinking my magic mic." I was like, "I don't think you should be drinking that."
Yeah. I realized as soon as I said that, I was like, wait, it doesn't sound very good.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, welcome, Kristoff.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks for
sweet.
having me.
Yeah, cool.
Good day for it out there, eh? Nice and sunny.
Yeah, we went down to, we had some breakfast down at the Wolf Store this morning.
Watch your
And
runners.
then, they were like really late. So the thing only started at like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So normally everything's finished by then.
Yeah.
So we had breakfast down there and then walked back and then arrived home and then Leah pitched up and yeah, so it's been a nice morning.
Here we
So
are,
far.
and now there's a funny smell in here. Do you smell it?
No.
It's like a freshly blue belt smell.
Stop it.
What's going on there?
Get smashed smell.
Yeah, so congratulations. You are
you.
2
Thanks,
weeks
John.
in, aren't you? Blue belt now? 2 weeks? A week?
Yeah,
I don't know how long.
last week was the first week with it on.
You wore it on all night, all
Yeah,
day.
yeah,
you take it to work.
Yeah, I definitely went home and put it on, put it off for my wife, and she wasn't as happy as I was about it.
Oh,
that's for sure.
yeah, yeah.
Come on.
So how many years in the making to get to blue belt?
It'll be 2 years.
That's good.
2 years this summer.
That's really good.
Mm.
There was I don't know if you saw it, John, on LinkedIn. I did a little post that only 10% of white belts make it to blue belt,
Yep.
and
That's-
then 1% from blue belts make it to black belt.
Yep.
So you're in the 1%.
Yeah.
Mine-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's a
but-
crazy stat.
I know 2 people who got to brown belt, 4 stripes, and then quit.
Wow.
No way.
Yep.
Wow.
Not
'cause
say quit, but they just haven't re-engaged with jiu-jitsu.
Mm.
So you think you get all that way, and then you kind of just don't achieve it, which is which is sad, But yeah, no, you've blue belt, man.
Yeah, tell us your journey then. So the 2 years of a white belt, where did that start? What'd you do?
Yeah,
How many
well,
people you choke out?
I was contemplating actually not quitting. I don't want to say quitting, but whether I wanted to carry on with it before I joined up with Mellows. And so I got in touch with John. Because I'd had an injury from my previous club and then going to the Nationals last year.
Just
and-
make sure it's close to your feet. Yeah, you go.
Yeah, and so I had probably a good 3 months off. Yeah. So I started at Bucklands Beach Jiu-Jitsu, same as Hamish, under Andy there, which was great, a great intro into all of it, getting ground down at Bucklands Beach Jiu-Jitsu.
Sounds like they make some strong people there, because
Yeah, I think I don't know. I mean, I've only been doing this for 2 years, but I feel like it's a strong competition club. So you kind of really get used to it. So I'd say their wrestling there is really, really strong, and their cardio base for jiu-jitsu. Yeah, so I started there and then competed the Nationals last year. Probably got most of my injuries leading into the competition, just like shark tanks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then
So do
picked
they
up-
do a lot of that like pre-competition?
Yeah, sort of. If you ask for it, you'll get it.
Okay.
It's not structured. So one of the guys there, he was just sort of helping me and another white belt out to get ready for it.
Yep.
We just reached out to him, and he was full stripe white belt, blue belt at the time, and he would just take us in on the weekends and
Okay.
we'd do shark tanks to try and kind of do extra bits to get ready for the comps because you're so nervous, for
Yeah,
your first
yeah.
one, and it's the
Yeah.
Nationals, so you're like, whoa,
Yeah.
what am I getting into? Yeah. So cracked ribs there.
Oh,
It's like a common theme with a lot of
Mm,
people, because Ollie's just come from his cracked rib, and I felt Hamish did something on Thursday to
yes,
his
he
rib.
did,
So
yeah.
what was that all about?
Oh, I think he just had a roll and with one of the other guys, and the knee like raked across his ribs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I know who the other guy is if we want to name him. We'll leave it.
He's got quite strong ties to you, is all I'd say.
Yeah.
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 Joined up, and so glad I joined back up with Mallows. Like I was just sort of contemplating, is this something I want to do? Because it's something when I started out, I wanted to do it forever. So I had that break and then just really just recommitting to it, going, is this something I want to do forever?
And you didn't start this young. You're saying you've only been doing 2 years ago.
I was 39.
So, woo! Someone, it's a bit similar to me. So yeah, there you go.
39, so yeah, definitely not young.
Yeah, boss is saying you started like when
Like
he started good at like 22. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can kind of tell, right?
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
He is good.
Bloody good.
So
yeah.
that nationals, you went with ribs a bit screwed up. Is that the one you won?
Fingers. Yeah, ended up getting gold.
Wow.
For the nationals. It was quite packed as well. We had, I think from memory, 6 or 7 of us in the
Yeah, that's a good size.
bracket, and one of the guys had just come back from the Worlds and got silver at the Worlds.
Whoa.
And he placed 4th in our bracket, but it was quite weird when they announced the bracket. They showed his name and you could see people's ages and stuff, and he was like over 60. So I thought, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a judo guy or a wrestler or something like that, But he'd just come back from the Worlds and got silver there. I forgot his name now. He placed 4th in our bracket, but man, he was strong.
Yeah.
So strong, yeah. He was my second fight, and he just wore me down. Yeah, kudos to him. I can't remember his name now, and his son, I know his son got gold at the Worlds.
Damn.
So
So at the podium, were you like, hey, I'm first and I've got a broken rib? Like
I didn't even know at the time.
Oh.
Yeah, and because I had 3 broken fingers, I ended up.
3 broken fingers?
Yeah, I got 3 broken fingers. You can still see my pinky still.
She looks a
bent
bit
from
weird.
it. Yeah.
But that happened from the tournament? Or before
some of it was training. One of them, this finger was from training prior to the tournament, and then I think 2 fingers got broken at the tournament, and then pretty sure I already had a broken rib, but then broke another rib.
Can I give you a tip?
Yeah, go for it.
Calcium?
I drink so much milk, but yeah,
That's
I think
insane.
it's just my keenness to get in there, and
You're just powering
Just
so
going for
much
it.
through your
Yeah.
body. It's just crack, 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 crack.
The holding onto the gi, I don't know if you
Oh,
don't even
yeah.
know, it's like holding onto the gi
Yeah.
when somebody rips it out.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
your fingers just go pop.
Yep. I've got this, like on the tip of this finger here, it gets really sore. So like I can't grip things, or it's like when I bend my finger, it gets, So I just think that's just from grabbing onto the sleeves and playing spider guard and open guard. And it's just, people just ripping your grips out. Yeah. So it can be quite hard on your hands. Yeah.
It's funny, I went to A&E and I said, oh, listen, I've just got this finger that's really sore. I think I should get it x-rayed. And she goes, oh, what about your other hand? And I said, oh, yeah, this one's a little bit niggly as well. She said, oh, we might as well
Do the whole
x-ray
lot.
both. Put both hands on there. And she said, yeah, you've got 3 broken
Whoa.
fingers. I was like, oh, cool.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So they just strap it up.
There was not much. Yeah, I just strapped it up, but there's not much.
Yeah.
I think by the time I actually went and got the X-rays, it was like past that 6 week period.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Could you still be a hand model, or is that not,
I don't know,
not on the
man.
cards?
You reckon? I don't think I could ever be a hand model.
I think those 4 are all right. Yeah, he's got that
My
little
big-
bump there.
My
But
big builder's hands. Well, not big, but builder's fingers. They're definitely.
is that what you do for a living?
I'm a qualified builder.
This
by
makes
trade, but
sense.
I look after the apprentices now and qualifications.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, because being on the mat with you, there's a bit of strength.
Yeah.
I felt it, and I'm like, what does this guy do? Because he's kicking my ass here.
Well, I feel like that about everybody else too. I feel like that about Jason, mate. Jason is a beast.
He too.
He's got
Just
that. He's got that.
slowly
He's got that
squeezing
old man
you.
strength.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
yeah. When I say old man strength, it's like guys 40 plus. I'm in that bracket,
Oh, what?
but I don't
I'm in
have that old
bracket.
man strength. He's just got that. Like he
It's-
grabs hold of you, and it's like,
Yeah.
oof.
Everything has legs and
Yeah,
everything. Yeah, You're just like, whoa.
Yeah. But he's like one of these guys that he's just
nice.
he's got like his hip is like screwed up at the moment, then his knee, and then it's just like, but he still comes to training and just like kind of just stretches and just gets through it. So yeah, he's got a very big pain threshold, I think. Yeah,
I think we all do in jiu-jitsu. I think we all sort of learn to it, and I think we all keep going back and keep training, even maybe at times when we shouldn't. And so I think we all have big pain thresholds.
That's something I'm really trying to manage now and think about. Because if I think about all the times I've been injured in jiu-jitsu, it's when I haven't stopped and sort of thought about whether it's a good, good. So John's really good like that as well. At the end of the night, if you leave the club, if you don't want to do that end sparring session, there's no kind of pressure, which I think is really good because I've listened to my body on some of those nights and gone, I'm going to give it a rest tonight.
Smart.
I feel like this is a night that I could,
go, do something.
Could go, like I've got a bit of a gammy knee and stuff, so I just try and listen to that and feel it out.
I thought that, so it was your rib injury. That wasn't your knee as well, or was it your ribs?
Ribs and fingers,
okay.
yeah.
So Hamish was the knee guy. Yep.
Ribs and fingers.
Yeah. So it's a similar thing with like what happened to Ollie with, he's kind of coming back, but just slowly, just choosing either who he rolls with or like what techniques he does. Yeah. But he did.
Smart, eh?
But he did like for him to get through that fourth stripe stuff was a lot. So that was, because there's a lot of things there we had to, knee rods and a lot of
some of those passes as well.
Stack passes and whatever else. So I think for him to get through that was quite good. But because your boy, Fergus, so I think he was also training down at Bucklands. Hey, is that how you got into it? He trained and then you got into it afterwards.
So we started on exactly the same day. I definitely had an interest in it, like leading up to it, and thought it'd be really cool to get him into something in martial art as well. I did a little bit of martial arts when I was younger. Yeah. And so I looked into BJJ and Andy down there took 5-year-olds onwards, but I sort of thought I'll wait till he turns 6. So when Fergus turned 6 in January 2 years ago, we both started on exactly the same day. Yeah. Because I was like, listen, mate, because it was a bit daunting for him. To sort of turn up somewhere and jump in, I thought of if he's going to do it, I'm going to do it with him.
Yep.
That's a good dad. Yeah, that's good.
I know we've got very good dads at Miller BJJ.
Got some nice people out here.
Yeah, man, our club here is amazing, eh?
Yeah,
we've got John for the culture and stuff.
It is. It's very warming. It's welcoming. I think we've scared most people off by the way we talk of all the injuries we've had, but it is a very nice club.
Yeah.
So what does the blue belt mean to you when you got it? Did you have a bit of a flashback of those 2 years and go, "Ooh, this is worth it"?
Oh, I'll be honest with you. Like I am proud and I'm so stoked to have it. But I also, like for me now, I see jiu-jitsu as just like a lifelong journey. Yes. And I sort of more see it as where John ranks me, and that does put I feel like it puts a little bit more pressure on me to have to step it up to that next level, which is good, I think, for my jiu-jitsu, because I'm going to have to just put that little bit more time into it. So it's kind of getting that pressure at the right time, rather than, yes, I got a blue belt, I'm the man. Like I know from when I left the mats for 3 months and came back how much I'd lost. So like I might be a blue belt now, but if I didn't put more work into it, I could be a white belt again. Tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally know what you mean.
So,
and it's interesting that you see things that way, because I see it too. Because I'm like, I'm glad you're blue belt, and I'm glad you want to step it up, because I want to get better, and I can only get better if you get better.
Exactly.
Which does start from that man over there.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you got that mentality.
Yeah.
Because if you thought I'm the man now, then that would just be the egos, and I think we don't have that at the club.
And like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like from one blue belt to the next, it could be such a variety on depending on what the game is like, where they're at in their stage of life.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you definitely like grow into your belt, I find, and it's kind of funny. Like your mind plays like big tricks on you. You all like at the level, like whether you get your 4th stripe, your 3rd stripe, or a blue belt, or your purple belt, like you're at that level, but like and in your mind, like you're better than what you think you are. And and then as soon as you get that stripe or that new belt, it kind of all of a sudden there's like a switch in your mind where like you get that validation, and it's like, oh, I'm a blue belt or I'm a purple belt now. And then all of a sudden your jiu-jitsu just goes up one notch. Like nothing's really happened from that 1 week to the next, other than just getting that validation ready. And we're just saying it to like boss. Like I just, even with Adam, I just found his, like just by getting his blue belt, his flow in jiu-jitsu has just gone up another notch again.
Yeah, I was like, look at this guy.
Yeah.
The other night I was like, wow, just that confidence. Hey, somebody else, thinks I'm here, so I'm gonna, exactly.
So and that'll happen with all of you. Like you'll just be like, and you just naturally start getting better and more fluid, and and depending on what you're concentrating on, obviously. But I mean, everyone's in their own journey, and I think when you get, and a blue belt's is a big deal. Like I think a lot of people now, or there's blue belt, people getting their blue belts, but it's a massive accomplishment, because how many times have you guys have had your injuries come back? I mean, having been you've been like this, Leo, like having 3 months off, or
I had a year and a half off.
Yeah, but that's like but you know what I mean. Like
3 months seems like nothing.
Yeah,
but
like coming back is the hard part.
Hardest.
The
Definitely
easy
the
part
hardest.
is just really sticking around.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot just to earn that blue belt, and so it's it's a big, and it's in most other martial arts, like those 2 or 3 years that you've earned that blue belt, it's like a black belt in like another martial art.
I've heard a lot of people say that. They're like the time it takes, like you could get a black belt in other sort of martial arts and in jiu-jitsu to get to a blue belt. So so it's pressure on you, mate.
Pressure's on, mate. I love it. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't to be honest, I wasn't expecting it, because I thought that being new to reasonably new this year to Mallows, and not knowing the syllabus, only being through the syllabus once, I was like, I wasn't expecting it, sort of thing.
Is this when you got your blue belt or your 4th stripe? Because I remember that day you got your 4th stripe with us at Mallows.
Every time. To be honest with you, every time I get a stripe or anything, I just like, okay,
John's good at that. He just surprises you with one.
Yeah, I remember the first one I got under Andy, I was really like, wow, cool, I got a stripe, But then after that, it's always just been like, okay, cool, is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember getting my first stripe and my 3rd stripe for some reason. Where when I was a white belt, I was like, "Oh, this is good," And then when you get in their 4th stripe, it's like okay, this is pretty good, But it's like I remember that 3rd stripe was like it seemed like I'd gotten over a hill when I got my 3rd stripe for some reason. I don't know why.
Is it more like you're more committed to the sport? Like you're getting there.
I think maybe because there's 4 stripes, and you think to yourself, okay, when I'm on my 3rd, I'm kind of I'm going back down the hill. I've climbed up, and now
until
I'm going
you hit the next color and you start again.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but it's just like when you hit your. For me, like the 1st stripe at white belt, I was like, oh my, cool. I'm actually getting somewhere here.
Yeah.
And then your 2nd stripe's all right, and then 3rd was like, oh, okay, now I'm getting into the deeper side of my belt now, and So, it's interesting.
It's a cool journey. It's such a cool journey.
Yeah.
Tell us about day 1 at Mallows Jiu-Jitsu. Can you remember it?
Because they had first time boss got his purple belt. I think that was the very first time I rocked up.
Was it that night?
Then
yeah, because I remember you saying, "Oh, sorry, mate. Like this isn't normally how we do our sessions," And I was like, "No, this is cool. Like I really like." So everybody turned up. Dan. I remember now. I know who he was. Dan was there, and I don't think Mike was there.
Yeah.
But so some of Boss's family must have turned up. Was it Ravender and stuff?
Yeah.
So that was cool, and then everyone just rolled.
Was it pizza and rolling or something?
Yeah, pizza and
rolling. Which is the weirdest combination. I'm like, how do people do this? Eat pizza and then roll on the mats?
Yeah, I think I did like 1 roll after 3 months, and I was just exhausted. did.
I thought you were
Going
going
off
to
the
say
side
I thought you were going to say I did one pizza slice and then lots of rolling, but it's like no, I did one roll and then lots of pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
That
like
was
that. We like our rolling and pizza and yeah.
Not when we're
That's
doing
cool. That was my first
75
time.
hard. Hey, you going to do 75 hard with us next time?
Yeah, come bring it on, man. Yeah.
Oh, you think you can do it?
Yeah,
Mentally?
it'll be this 2 exercise sessions
Yeah.
a day that'll get me. But you can just
One.
you can just walk.
Jiu-jitsu counts as one. Yeah, walking counts as another. Yeah.
Well, I go to the gym every morning and then jiu-jitsu
do,
those
actually.
nights, so it's just fitting another one in.
No, you do loads.
I
Like
don't drink.
yeah, he does fine. He does fine. And he doesn't drink, so he's already there.
I don't drink, and but it'll be the water.
Oh,
And
yeah, that.
the diet? How strict do you have to be on the diet? Is that
not
just-
particularly strict. Like you can't have any sugar.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll struggle
So you
with
can, but you
that.
can
Was
do
there
any
sugar in
diet
this?
you want.
I might have broken my
Um,
75
no, I
drinking
think-
this.
I don't know. Protein shakes. I think you can.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
we'll take
okay.
that. It's
Throw that
fine.
in
Yeah.
hard, that's-
Yeah.
It's not,
Yeah, you'll be
not
fine.
really a
Hardness.
proper.
You'll be fine. Yeah,
Well,
we
let me know.
need a few more for next year. It'll be a good,
Yeah, you're
good
like
go.
a old hat at this thing now, Leo. Like you're definitely
he's
you're
the-
definitely the 75 hard leader now for sure.
He's the
I'm-
leader. Give him the
Pass that baton over to you.
give him the baton. Give
Yeah.
him the torch.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want me to lead this, but okay. I'll
No,
take that on.
definitely you've got the. I think you're the one guy who's like, you know, you've not only gone all the way on the 75 hard, but then you've like carried on afterwards, and then even now you're
Embraced it,
doing.
mate.
You even said to him now, it's like, oh, you want some lemon cake? No, I can't have that.
Yeah. Yeah. I
What
got
it takes, though, it's what it takes.
I'm old. Honestly,
Mm.
I'll work out for weeks and lose a kg, and then if I have some lemon cake, I'll put on 3 kgs. Like my body's
Yeah.
the metabolism's not there. I'm not the young Adam. You know.
Mm.
Oh, if I was Adam's age doing jiu-jitsu,
God damn
my
it.
gosh.
It's so funny with the kids.
I'd
They're
still be
like,
white
you know,
belt.
they do shrimping across the mats, and they're like, I'm tired. I'm like, you're not tired.
Yeah.
You guys don't. You'll never get tired. Like
No,
you're too
yeah.
young to get tired.
Yeah.
So
Hey, talking
Yeah,
about
so
leadership,
kids.
you said you had a question for the old black belt over there.
Oh, I do have a question. Yeah, it was I've always wondered about this. So if you had a student in your club and you
Oh, here we
and
go.
you mentored him,
Ah.
so, you know, say 4 years or whatever it is, and he turned into a bit of a savage, and you know, you're really proud of him, but then he goes out and he starts kind of causing ruckus out in the community,
ruckus, so they could like.
like causing
Bad-
trouble.
Oh
Yeah, so he's up with the Franklin, and you know,
Mm.
next minute you know you hear he's choked somebody out, and
Oof.
you know, that kind of stuff. How, you know, have you
I-
ever heard of anything like that, or and how would you deal with it?
I haven't had that happen, and I think if it did happen, I'd definitely talk to the guy.
Mm.
So
Are they allowed to come back to the club?
Yeah.
yes,
I guess you
but-
got to know what the scenario was. Was it self-defense, or was he being a
Starts
bully?
becoming a bit of a you have to jump
he's-
in there and start policing it a bit almost, or being the
I think
during-
I think if it's causing issues with the community and stuff like that, then it's like, you gotta, that's an interesting one. I know do you remember Marcelo Garcia? He's the guy who's just had that fight with what's his name, man? The dude who's the prime, Paul, you know, Logan Paul?
Dylan Dennis.
Paul Logan. Is it Paul Logan?
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul, yeah. So Dylan Dennis.
Dylan Dennis.
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu guy, yeah. He's always in trouble, isn't he?
So Dylan Dennis was one of Marcelo Garcia's students, and like at brown belt, like he had like it was Dylan Dennis, we had Gianni Grippo, all these guys, like they were the brown belt killers at Marcelo Garcia, and then Dylan just started like going out and just causing issues, and then eventually Marcelo's like, look, you just can't. You can't be here.
Yeah.
And like I've always thought about, I was like, okay, if you ostracize a person for stuff that they're doing out in the community or in their personal life, does that make things worse for the person, or do they need that sort of separation so that they can come to the realization that what they're doing is wrong, so that then they can come back? And it's like, I don't know if you ostracize a person or you tell them to like leave, how do you get that person to come to you to come back and to be able to, so you can try and re-engage and get them back into like a better path. So
Be a tricky one, wouldn't it?
it's a tricky one. Yeah, I think if
Yeah.
it's something like, if it's like very violent or something like that, I'll be like, look, we just can't have anything like that here. But I think for me, the most important thing is that we can't have a person on the mat being dangerous or being like horrible to all the other students and
reckless.
Reckless. That's probably
Which I've never had that feeling.
Yeah,
on the mats.
So that's probably the most important thing for me is that they're like everyone takes care of each other, and if you don't have that mentality, then you're probably not going to fit in. So
have you found some guys would come into the club like that, and then you kind of have to just grind them down to?
I think everyone who starts, and I'm putting myself included, we like. Everyone is like just 100%, or they just don't, because you don't know what you don't know, and your natural reaction when you start fighting or sparring is, it's 100% or zero. So I think you have to, but I think if you address that early on and say, okay, you can relax more, you don't have to go hard all the time, and I think eventually that gets drilled in or trained into people. It's funny, I had the conversation with Jono about it on Thursday, because he's just coming back now after like having, I don't know if you injuries and traveling or whatever. And so I said to him, I was like, you don't have to, like, I can go from one role to the next, and only because like when you're in like a bad position, if you're using 100% of your energy to try and get out of it, then you're gonna be gassed at the end of your fight. So I said to him, like when you've got me in SAR control and you got me in a bad spot, like I'm just relaxing there, and I'm kind of thinking about, okay, if I get my elbow into this spot over here, or if I get my hand, a frame in, is that going to relieve some of the pressure? Like it's not like I'm not using a lot of my energy at that time, and then when I do need to use my energy, that's when I go, but then I dial it down straight afterwards again. Yeah. So there's times during the role so I guess, to come back to your question, I think it's like more. I think I try and be engaged with the person if I can.
Work with them as far as you can kind of go.
Yeah.
Well, make a call.
It's how far do you go as a role model, and then how far do you want to go into someone's personal life as well. So it's an interesting call.
Because it might happen one day, right? There's a possibility that.
Yeah, you never ever want people to use. Jiu-jitsu just for the sake of it, just to hurt someone. Yeah.
No.
So, but I think it's it wouldn't be the greatest.
Yeah. Because it could taint your club culture as well. You've got some guy turns up and he's like, "Oh man, I just went on the weekend and choked these 3 guys out." And
Does your Facebook algorithm try and show you videos of street fights?
Yeah, I got that.
Man,
all my algorithms.
I try I'm not a fan of seeing a street fight.
You're right.
I'm okay if it's in the ring or if it's a competition, but because I think a street fight, so much could go wrong.
Oh yeah,
like someone falls over, hits their head on the concrete. That's it.
The most frightening thing is when you see these guys get knocked out and they just fall back and they hit their head.
There's concrete around and stuff. And mine aren't the street fight ones. It's those organised kind of backyard ones.
Oh, that's even worse as well. Those guys look like they shouldn't be fighting either.
Yeah, and they're like a makeshift, it looks like a scaffolding cage.
Yeah, like and the people are all like, they're clinging onto the cage. And I'm like, whose backyard is this? Where is this?
And the ref's always real like over the top, animated almost. Yeah. I think quite interesting.
Those are wrestling fans trying to get into mixed martial arts. No, I asked that question just because I know Facebook knows what you like and then tries to take you down these spirals.
Rabbit holes.
Yeah, I'm like, man, I don't want to see this stuff. I don't want to see it on a street fight level, but it just pops up. But just because you asked that question, I was like, oh yeah, I do see a bit of that happening. So it does happen around the world.
It does happen. It does happen.
Yeah.
There was that one recently, of that Australian. Was he a wrestler, MMA fighter?
Yep.
That was a proper street fight with like 2 really intoxicated younger guys. Have you seen
I remember that. Yeah.
And a girl, and there's a girl that antagonised and he was so controlled. Like from what I could, the clips that they show you.
Yep.
He gave them lots of warnings.
Like he backed away quite a few times.
And gave them just like a little, hey, watch out kind of jab.
A little warning shot.
Just warning shot, and then they keep coming. And it's amazing to watch actually. A skilled fighter against 2 out of control drunk guys.
Yeah. I think these days you just don't know like what the other person's gonna do. Like if they're gonna grab a knife, or I mean, I don't know if you saw that guy, these two YouTuber guys who were just went up to some random dude in a takeaway, started hassling him, and the dude just took out a gun and just shot him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did you remember that? Do you see that?
no?
No, I haven't seen
So
that
it's
one,
yeah.
My algorithm's
So-
not that violent.
Yeah. And so this guy, like, obviously, and I think they obviously went to court and whatever else. The guy got off. And I was like,
The guy got off
yeah.
to shoot at somebody. He's allowed to shoot somebody because he was being.
Well, the guy was like, because the guys were like harassing him,
Oh,
and he was
okay.
just, and he was just basically saying, look, just leave me alone.
Yeah, okay.
And then they just didn't. And so, yeah, he just took the gun and just shot the dude. I was like, that's a bit like, I actually thought he was going to go to prison for that, but
Isn't there that world champ jiu-jitsu guy who got shot at a concert? Brazilian? I think
yeah,
he's-
that's Leandro Lowe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shows you, like world champ jiu-jitsu at
Yeah.
a concert, guy pulls a gun out.
Yeah. Like one of the best grapplers of all time. And then,
Yeah,
just
that.
gets shot like that. Yeah.
That's definitely something that jiu-jitsu has taught me. Is just kind of let you know where you're at in the picking order, and I'm definitely a lot more aware of danger.
Yeah.
Mm.
Not that I'm anxious about it,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I'm just a lot more aware and not foolish. Definitely not foolish about it. Not that I was out of control before or anything, but
Yeah. You
Yeah.
know what the reality is?
yeah, the reality of it.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
just of trying to avoid it as much as I can.
Yeah.
wherever
That's
I
right.
can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's hard in this area over here. There's like, so many
so
you know,
many
dodgy
so
people,
many
you know.
thugs out here. Eh?
Yeah.
I've said this before. I moved from Otahuta to here thinking I was coming to a safer place, and people's boats are being stolen, and like, man,
It's all just that one guy though. It's all just Ford, isn't it? Isn't he doing the whole lot?
he is in that industry, isn't he? He knows how to get around
Yeah,
boats
yeah.
and stuff. It makes
Yeah,
sense.
Yeah, he always like he's always answering messages like really quick. So he's probably
He's the
while
guy. He's the
nicking things,
instigator on
he's-
Facebook.
Yeah,
I still think the guy that posted it saying free boat is the one that took it. Like, because it makes sense. If the cops pull you over, you just show the post. Like, look, someone here said free boat.
yeah,
It's an
yeah.
it's an
Think
anonymous
about that.
post. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a bit weird, but
yeah.
can
Exactly.
you really arrest me by taking this boat? Yeah.
Oh,
It's awesome though. I think. Just like even if it's just like a random car just on the street,
Yeah.
like it's been there for like the last few days. Be like, oh, there's a free car here. Come and get a flatbed truck. Come and take it away. It's fine.
There's a Tesla
Yeah.
parked outside. Did you
Hey?
know the Tesla?
yeah. Little black, nice black Tesla. out
That's a nice black Tesla.
Christos one, yeah.
Oh, is that Kristoff?
Yeah, it's Kristoff.
Ah, I see. So, what are the key things you like about jiu-jitsu? Is that you're doing it for fitness? You're doing it, like you said, it's just maybe one day you need it for self-defense. Is it for the kid? You and the kid?
No, I think it's just a keenness. Yeah, me and the kid probably has definitely how it started. Me and Fergus, and now my daughter Bowie. I'm trying to get her into it as well. So
How old is she?
5. She's just turned 5.
Oh, okay.
Hence the 5-year-old classes that
Oh,
I
yeah. So you should tell people
twisted
about.
John's
Yeah.
arm to get those started.
Ah, so it's you. Well done.
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yep. So just trying to get the 5-year-olds on the mats.
Well,
It's cool.
Can someone actually explain to me what do the 5-year-olds on the mats do? Because you're not. Are you actually teaching them to do a dangerous submission move, or is it just more how to gain control on the mat and positions?
Oh, you can answer that.
Yes.
one,
John's
Yeah, yeah.
given me the privilege to kind of, make it up as I go. And I've just been, researching and stuff, and it's just making it, I think the priority is just to make it fun for them so that whenever they see the mats or smell the mats, they think of fun. That's the first
Right.
thing. And then secondly, it is just getting them ready so that when they get to that 7-year-old classes, that their bodies are a bit more used to it. They're a bit more used to the movements, maybe some of the names, positional names and stuff,
Yes.
a bit more familiar. So it's just, a lot of games where like squat games and jumping on one single legs and a bit of rolling, getting them onto your back so you're actually getting them used to like really hanging on. So one of the guys I actually listened to, he said that the hardest thing that he found was getting his kids used to engaging with each other. So that balance of a kid that comes in who's over keen to grab somebody, so it's taming them down a little bit, but then it's those other kids that aren't used to sort of grabbing somebody and
Yeah, pulling them in.
pulling
And,
them in and
yeah,
stuff. So a few games to try and do that as well.
that's cool.
Yeah.
I've always thought about how do you teach kids and keep it safe, especially at that level. And then so it's good to hear.
Yeah, John
your
made the
thoughts.
call to do it 30 minutes, which I think is really good. I think 30 minutes is a good amount, just because you're not drilling, so they are getting 30 minutes of a bit of a workout, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll find out once some of those 5-year-olds turn 7. Hopefully John's like, mate, these kids are amazing.
Yeah. No, definitely it's going to be. I think it's real. I don't know if I was explaining to you or not, but like before I started the club, like I hadn't taught kids at all, and actually for the first year where we had the club, we didn't have any kids program because I was just kind of I just didn't get my bearings about just doing adults. And just trying to get just see how running a club actually is, and then we after that year then we started doing the 7 to 10-year-olds, and that was like the first time I was actually like teaching kids, and so I learned very, very quickly like, okay, you can't go off and just teach what's a like basic circuit drill or a top control drill like with them. Like you really have to break things down into like little chunks and then have them do those like little chunks. And then even when you've done that, then you have to kind of make a game of it. And I think that's really helped me with it's funny, like a lot of the stuff that I've done at the kids class has helped me with the adults class, because now when we come to do our drills, I'm not thinking about, okay, let's just drill top control drill now. Let's create a game from this where you're going, okay, you're on top control, you got to try and escape now, and there's a whole thing with that, Yeah. So yeah, it's got to be more game related rather than it being like just simply just instructional the whole time, because they'll just be boring. So even for adults, like doing 40 minutes of instruction, it's pretty. Even I tend to like zone out after a while. So it's like, yeah.
There's a meme that I sent to Ford once, and it's like, it says, the guy's saying like, this is my memory in jiu-jitsu, and it's like a pen's going around creating a circle, but right behind it is an eraser. So the circle's like keeps going away. And sometimes, you do show a move and like, all right, let's go. And then I'm like, yeah. And then I get into position. I'm like, what? What are we doing again?
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Let alone the next day or a week later, it's like.
yeah. I'm like, what was that move I want to pull off on the mats? But repetition is key. That's one thing for sure.
That's why it's handy to have Adam on the mats, because he remembers everything.
Everything.
That's so good.
Everything.
Thanks, Adam.
I actually need to do a better job of, once I've explained it, to actually go through one, to talk through it more. Sometimes, like I go through it, and then, like if we're doing triangle as an example, even though it's something we do often, and most people know it, I get out of the habit of sometimes just going, okay, let's just do the first rep all together, and then you guys do it. And normally I just go, okay, guys, go practice.
Yeah, that's true, actually. That's something I learned from the other club. They walk you through it, and then you're like, okay, go. And we're like, man, I know you just showed it to me, but what was it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, but it's all good. It's all learning. We're all learning.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But so we did our first kids 5-year-old class on Thursday. So it was awesome.
Went all right.
That was great.
Had a couple turn up. But
Is that how you got his blue belt? If you teach 5-year-olds, you get a blue belt. Is that what I need to do?
No.
Is that how you get the blue belt?
No, mate,
definitely not.
Do I need to choke out? Choke out 5-year-olds? Show my syllabus on a 5-year-old. I get it. Okay, now I know how to get blue
I wasn't
belt.
even thinking of 5-year-olds, and so when Kristoff said, "Hey, I want to give it a go," I was like, yeah, well, by all means, like just
But there's some
be awesome.
Instagram videos of these little kids. The parents have to be like jiu-jitsu black belts, because those little kids do some amazing things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the kids at nationals, like what they were doing there, it's like
it's
so
mind-blowing,
good.
some of it.
What's the youngest you can start at nationals here?
Oh,
Is that 7?
I don't know actually.
Be younger, because Fergus was 6 when he did it.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's really young, eh? Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they took 5-year-olds there.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
More money.
Yeah, I was
for
that $100 entry fee.
Yeah.
How
It's
old?
'cause it's
6
more about
months. Come on in.
Yeah.
Dude, it was like over 800 competitors, or more than that, or something like that. It's just like, it's crazy to think how big the competitions are now.
And they still run out of medals. I'm still waiting for my medal.
Oh, did you get one?
I forgot about your medal thing with.
We should talk about that.
Speak
Yeah,
to
Last year's medals were awesome too. I got up to the podium because we were white belts, obviously at the end of the day, and the girls were like, "Oh, we're so sorry, we ran out of medals."
Whoa.
So all 3 of us, gold, silver, bronze, we all were like, "Okay, cool." Gave her a phone number and details, and
So who do we need to talk to, John?
I need to
do
speak to
these
Steve,
people?
so I'll message him. I'll get your.
Let's put it
get
on
your gold
record
bar.
here. You owe this man a medal.
Steve
I don't want to
Oliver.
speak out too much because I'm sure Steve is probably a savage.
Yeah. I'll just send him this one little clip
Yeah.
and just say, hey, this was brought up. So
We haven't
on.
talked about this in quite a while, John, so I'm going to let you have this. Any new UFO stories?
Oh, yes.
No,
good UFO
none.
story.
That's been quite quiet. I think with the whole wars that are happening.
They've gone.
Man, all
But
those David Fravor stories and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
So good. I did see a thing on TikTok though the other day where it looked as fake as anything, but there was this light that came down onto, like, I don't know, somewhere in Gaza or I don't know, Jerusalem or whatever, and then it like stayed there for like a few seconds. Then all of a sudden it just went up.
I've seen this clip years and years ago.
Is it?
Is this supposed to be new?
It's supposed to be new.
'Cause
Apparently, it's like everyone's saying that's an angel that's come down. I'm like, it looks like a UFO to me, but it looks as fake as anything I could think. But it's like, yeah, it's just like come down, and then there was like this pulsing
Pulse
light thing, and then went up again.
See, but that's the problem now. You can't believe anything.
I know, it's
on the
the thing,
internet.
yeah.
You can't.
Have you guys ever seen anything?
No.
I've seen you, Kristoff.
Have you ever seen any UFO activity that you've been suspicious of?
I'm trying to think of a joke here. No, I've never had the experience.
No?
You're going to tell us a story, are you?
Yeah, I've got a memory of something.
Here we go.
Well, this is
I'm
gonna
not
be
a big like.
John's going to ask for an autograph after this.
I'm very skeptical of the whole UFO thing. I think there's obviously so much stuff out there that tries to draw people in and fake stuff and that. But when I was a young fellow back where I was born, my African country, I would have been about 10 years old. Because we're always out in the bush and stuff, on farms and that. So you'd always in the evenings, always looking up at the starry skies. And I saw something that that I've never seen before and I've never seen since.
Okay.
And I don't know if anyone could explain it.
I'm waiting for you to tell me what
What was it?
Like, you're building it up here.
It's hard because
It's just a shooting star.
No, I've seen so many shooting stars. Ask my wife. I'm like the shooting star spotter. But
Really?
two things up in the sky, and they were pretty like pointy at the end, and then round on the back side of them. And they definitely had like a brighter side. It was really couldn't tell how far away they were because you got the stars there.
Yeah.
So.
But did it look like a star?
It kind of looked like a star.
Okay.
Kind of like a star, but it was definitely brighter on one end. And they would just shoot off like a shooting star, and they would stop. Boop, just stop, and then they would spin around with the bright. The two of them. There were two of them. And
Yeah.
What year?
Was this in the 90s?
South Africa?
So, in South Africa. So I would have been. I'm guessing, but I'd say I was. So we moved over in 97, so I'm guessing it's between 95 and 96.
Well, that's when all that stuff was happening in Africa. Like the whole Zimbabwe thing was happening then. That was in '93.
What's the Zimbabwe thing? Take me back in history.
So in Zimbabwe, they went to basically a UFO landed in a school.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And
That's right.
do you remember that one?
Yeah, I remember that story. Yeah.
I forget the name of the school, but it was in. Anyway, so what happened was this UFO landed, and the kids all saw it, and saw these beings as well, and then obviously all got freaked out. Then ran back to the class, told the teachers, who didn't believe them, and then eventually they said, okay, you need to draw what all the stuff what it looked like, and they all drew the same thing, and they got interviewed, and so that was in '93, I think. In Zimbabwe,
Yeah.
So just going back to your story, because I do like that story, and I have read about that story, John, as well.
Yeah.
You're seeing it shoot off, turn around, shoot back, like same length?
They were just. I mean, it would have been probably around. Because it was a long time ago, but I'm guessing we would have laid on our backs watching these things for like half an hour. It was me and an old buddy of mine, obviously from back there. Can I
ask a question? What is being consumed as we're watching these stars?
Nothing, mate. Nothing at all. Okay. I was 10 years old. So,
that's right. Sorry.
So, yeah. Probably a lot of Coca-Cola or something like that.
Coke has some good stuff.
Yeah, not Coke, but Coca-Cola.
Right. Coca-Cola stuff.
Yeah. So just watch them just shooting across the sky and just spinning, and sometimes doing like a slow arc, and then they would stop and they would just sort of rotate and then like shoot off. And it was all sort of, in a not right across the sky. It was all in the same sort of area.
Not freaked out? Or you guys just
and like amazed and going, what is that? 'Cause we looked at the sky so much as little kids growing up in the bush, that it was definitely something abnormal. And I have never messaged that friend of mine, but I always think about it. But I'm just like, man, what if I?
You should.
Yeah, because I should just say, hey mate, can you remember that?
Yeah.
Well, you will now with this video.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always thought when I was younger, it's like you hear of like UFO stories, and you think I'd be really, really freaked out if I did see something. But the reality is, it's just just a dot in the sky that you get.
Yeah, it's supposed to be different if something came down and was right in front of you and they're chasing you or something.
Well, that school one, John, I think we didn't mention was where they were seeing the being. They all got the same sort of telepathic message, which was like look after the earth or something.
Yeah, look after the earth.
And all the kids said that
and
as
the
well.
kids, and they were so young that they were trying to say technology.
Yes.
And they said technology.
Yeah.
Like they're saying the UFO or the beings that were saying that we need to protect the earth, and we should watch out for the technology. It's and it's like they didn't know the words.
And
so something
that's
about
weird,
Kristoff's blue belt and all that stuff came out of those telepathic messages. All right, so you got a UFO story. That's good.
That's awesome, Kristoff. Yeah. But this is the video.
Who was it? Sorry, what was it? I don't know.
What is this?
That's the angel video.
Wait, I'm not saying anything.
Lights coming down.
The light.
And then the lights on the ground.
I can't see if I've got this video thing, but it's
You're gonna have to put this up on the video. Oh, so it's hovering.
And then
And is that meant to be 4 different angles?
Yeah.
So 4 people filmed this.
And then you'll see it shoot up.
Pulsing. Boof.
I think that's the one I saw years ago.
What's the
think so.
If that was legit, that's amazing. But I just feel like it's not.
Yeah, it could be so easily.
Well, that's when I
faked,
watched it.
right?
I was like, well, I said that doesn't look like an angel. It looks like a UFO if it's anything.
And that's the thing. If I'd have filmed that, what I saw that night, if I'd have filmed that, you could so easily say, "Oh, that's
On your Nokia flip phone.
yeah."
No, but that would have been like 90s, Like you can't do that. You can't replicate that. Like nowadays, you can be like, oh, is that a drone or something?
Starlink.
But it's
I filmed Starlink. I was like, look at this, honey. I think it's something. And she's like, Starlink. I was like, oh, damn.
It's amazing.
It's
though,
amazing.
It is
All
cool.
information.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
look at that.
Yeah,
the first time that happened, we took the kids down.
Yes.
I don't think we were even living in Beachlands at the time. And we took the kids down here to Maraetai, and we said the reindeers are going to the North Pole. And they were like, they were looking at it, and they were going, look, they're going to the North Pole because they need to get ready for Christmas.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, this is amazing.
And then they grow up and they're like, I can't trust you, Dad.
Yeah,
Your dad just lied to us.
Blatant lie.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's awesome. I never thought about that. Reindeer.
Yeah, you can say it to Bowie now.
Yeah.
So like, oh, look
There
at
they
it.
go.
The
But
reindeer.
we've all got a smartphone. We've all got cameras. Yet there's less footage of them, I feel. So don't know. Don't know.
But if you think about it, like even with our cameras that we have today, if you want to take a shot even to that where that other house is on the roof, like it's pretty grainy still. Like you'd imagine if it's in the try and take one
still
zooming in on a plane going across the Maraetai.
Yeah.
It'll look crap. Even in
What are your thoughts on those? Because they had that big hearing in the States, right? About,
yeah.
What are your thoughts on it? Do you think that all those guys are telling?
No, they're definitely telling the truth.
Definitely telling the truth.
Yeah. I reckon.
Have you heard Joe Rogan's theory on all of it?
What?
Where he feels like it's a
like a psyop thing.
Yeah, psyop. That's exactly what he uses. Yeah.
No, not with Fravor and all those guys. Like
No,
those
it
guys in
seems-
those carriers and stuff like that. Like that's like legit. Like you can see the footage right in front of you.
Yeah. But
So-
then he says it's either a psyop or there's some, government project that's going on that
they're trying to distract people from.
Yeah, distract people with, but they've got, say, possibly they have got this technology from another place, but they're using it to fly around themselves.
Yeah.
It's not,
Yeah, so the guy, the one guy, I forget his name now, with, was it Grin? I forget his name now. But he, the guy came out and basically said that he knows about all these special operations and they are definitely aliens and all. So that guy could potentially be a psyop. That could be a psyop thing.
And he was one of the guys in that trial.
He was one of the 4 people.
Yes,
yeah. But the 2 other military guys are 100% like Fravor and the other guy. I forget his name now, but definitely they seem pretty legit.
So were they trying to pass some law where any company that is working on some technology that is not from this planet or whatever, they have to reveal it? Was it
they
the whole
have to
point?
reveal it? Yeah.
That's the whole point of that that meeting?
Yeah.
And if there's any sightings, they have to have some sort of place where it's registered and
But
You're
more
still not going to say you've got it. You'll be like, no, we don't have anything.
Yeah.
We're just working on something else, but don't worry about that.
Yeah, it's more the technology. They want to know like who's got the technology. But they're basically saying now that a lot of the freaky stuff we're seeing in our skies, like what people are seeing, it's technology that we've re-engineered.
Mm.
So
that
it's like
backward engineered.
Back engineered.
Back engineered.
Back engineered. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's all that Bob Lazar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gets right into it,
Yeah.
It's his nightmare.
Is it?
No.
Yeah.
I don't like
I think he got scarred in that one where we talking about all that stuff.
No, because I think I came into when John's like, "Do you want to do this podcast for jiu-jitsu?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, get people interested in jiu-jitsu, spread the word." And then we start the first podcast. 3 minutes into it, it's like, "There's aliens on my rooftop." I'm like, "This podcast can go anyway." But
that's awesome.
I think, and it does. I think it makes it a lot more interesting. And I'm just used to working in other areas where you always have to talk about the same subject. So I have no problems talking about the aliens. If they're here, if they're in Kyle's tank, water tank, or they're on Ford's roof, or
whatever happened to Kyle's water tank? Did it just
aliens
drained it out?
Aliens pissed in it, and
I think we said he could come over and have a shower at our house, and then he didn't take up that offer. Good for him.
Yeah. He was a good buddy of mine from high school, Kyle.
Kyle, was
we had
he?
some good times, man. Yeah, me and Kyle. Yeah.
It's funny, yeah. It's a small world like we live in over here, so it's like,
Yeah, well, I sort of moved away and then came back, and just quite funny, running back into him again here, and sharing some old stories.
I love it.
So where did you go to school again? In Howick?
I went to finish high school in Howick,
Okay.
And did my building apprenticeship after that.
Yeah.
Sort of moved around a little bit, down in New Plymouth for a bit, and then over to Aussie for 4 years as well.
Oh, right. So 90, you say you came here in 97? Okay, so what were you, like 16 or something?
No, I was like nearly 12.
Oh, okay.
12,
okay.
12 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. So 12, okay. And then, so where did you go first when you first arrived? Or was it in Auckland?
We were Howick, straight to Howick.
Okay.
Like a lot of the other Saffers. Yeah. But there weren't that many, it was pretty quiet back then compared to now.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's a hot spot, eh?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. It's, when we arrived, we were coming from the UK, we were looking at like different spots, and we thought, maybe we'll go to the North Shore. But then when we drove over to the North Shore, when we arrived, we were like, I don't know about this. And we had like some other friends here in East Auckland, so our first place we rented was in Howick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was our first spot, and then we moved to Botany, and then over here.
So did you start your jiu-jitsu journey in New Zealand, or was
it? Yeah, in New Zealand. Yeah. So I did like judo when I was, I don't know, like Fergus's age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For long, or
so probably maybe 3-4 years.
Well,
and then
decent stint.
And then didn't do anything for years and years and years. And only when I was early 30s I started 30. I think I was 30, 31.
And what made you get into it then?
Just watching UFC. So I was watching The Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
And it was when when
was this? How long ago was this?
It would have been 11, 12 years ago. So
the original
that's
Ultimate Fighters.
Like 2010, 11.
Yeah.
We're all that age.
John Jones era.
Yes, I think it was just before John Jones era actually, and it's
Rashad
when
Evans,
Bisping. It's when
Bisping.
Bisping was. I think he was in the Ultimate Fighter as a coach.
Yeah.
And it was him and this other dude.
As
And I
a
just remember
coach?
this other guy. He was a jiu-jitsu black belt at the time.
They had a fight, eh?
Yes. And he was like,
his name?
and I forget his name. He has blonde hair. And I remember Bisping going, look, this guy, like my jiu-jitsu is just as good as this other guy. And they kept on saying jiu-jitsu this, jiu-jitsu that. I was going, what the hell is jiu-jitsu? And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, it sounds pretty good. I wonder if we've got anything here in New Zealand. And then that's when I called Mike and said to him, I think I'm interested in jiu-jitsu. Can I come down? He's like, yeah, just come down. And I said, what do I wear? Is it just wear your board shorts and whatever?
Jump on in.
So yeah, I came, and then my first class was with what's his name?
Did he have the club, or was this like in the garage?
No, they were at ground control.
Okay, they already had the club set up.
Yeah,
Okay.
because they were at Chipmunks, I think, to start with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've moved from there now. They're in a different.
No, it's a move from Chipmunks to where ground control is there
Is
now.
now,
okay.
Yeah. So they've been there for a while now. Yeah. So so I had my first class there, and then that's it. Yeah. It's funny. I had my first class, and I think I didn't go back for like another 2-3 weeks, and then I came back, and then
and then you were hooked.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it was like it was good.
Just keep doing
So
it.
so I started it. Yeah, I wish I started in England. That would have been good. Yeah. So
Yeah, there's always hindsight. I wish I started early 30s or late 20s, but then I was doing so many other things as well.
Yeah, I
spending
know.
a lot of time doing other things. So I'm glad I found it now, at least.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people need something.
Yeah,
Whether it's like CrossFit or doing jiu-jitsu or something else, just to get your mind off just work or just normal day-to-day stuff.
Yeah.
So
Just,
Are you addicted to jiu-jitsu? Is it an addiction?
I've definitely got a I don't want to say addictive personality, but I like getting into things a lot. Like I don't just like dabbling on things, and so when I do something and I find something I like doing it hard out. So
You like, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Does that answer your
Well, it does,
Yeah.
but then my next question is for John, and I think we need your phone. I want to know what the definition of a cult is, because like
cult.
we pay and we keep going. We follow a leader. We do what the leader says. We get smashed. We come back.
Get smashed.
I think
Listen, when I start telling you guys to start taking your clothes off, and
I was going to say the only
and-
difference. The only
and I've got
difference
to
is
get my
yeah.
We're allowed to wear different gis. We don't have to all wear the same gi.
I was going to say the only difference between us and going to jiu-jitsu is in cults, the leader's always sleeping with all the people's spouses.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're doing that, John. But then again, the other day you sent me a text message saying that you've been dating my wife.
yeah.
Here we
Do you
go.
want to explain?
Yeah. So I was on the ferry. I'm terrible with people's faces. Like honestly, if I saw your wife again, I wouldn't recognize her. So she's probably gonna think I'm blanking her.
I'll
but
tell
I'm
her
not.
that you're just rude. I'll tell her you're just rude.
Just tap me on my shoulder and say, "Remember me?" But okay, wait. A cult is a religious group, often living together, whose beliefs are considered extreme or strange by many people.
Jiu-jitsu seems strange. We are in
kinda
John's
living-
lounge.
Yeah,
we're under one roof here. So yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
so I was on the ferry, and I get this picture from Leo, which is from the back, from going there, saying, is this your? What did she say?
My wife goes, "Is this John Mellows?"
Yeah.
And
Oh, I
And
see.
so he was like,
do you know what I said underneath that?
he said, "Yeah, go choke him."
I said, "Yes,
Yeah,
choke
yeah.
him now."
So like I looked at this and I turned around and I was like, yes, yeah. And
There
then
you are.
so, and then
And then
actually,
John
I'll
is a
tell you exactly what
John's
I
a
said.
savage, yeah. And you wrote something back, and I was like, "Whoa, I wasn't expecting that from what you said."
Please
what is
tell
it?
me.
Wait, I'll get it now. Where's
You'll
it?
have to put this in the video.
Video. I said, "Are we dating?"
Yeah,
You just don't know.
that's it. Just sent it back to me. I was like,
don't know.
so I sent him the picture saying, "Hey, someone's going to choke you," and he goes, "Oh, I'm dating your wife," and I'm just like, "Whoa, we're dating. You just don't know." Oh, all right, that's a bit different. That's a different message from your coach.
Yeah.
There you go. So
There you go. Yeah.
it
So
could be a cult. That's where I was going
Could
with
be.
all this.
Yeah.
Could be a cult. There you go.
Be careful, keep an eye out on that. And just, in case we start turning that way, we can.
Yeah, as soon as I
divert it
start
back.
saying, when we take our picture at the end of the night, it's like, just take the rash guards off, guys. And,
Every night, just less and less clothes on. And undies are sweet, guys.
Yeah.
All the other clubs do it.
Yeah, exactly.
All the new white belts say, no, we always do it in undies.
We find this funny, but people listening or watching the show will be like,
What
what?
are these guys on about?
This we
Ford's
just
going to be like, oh, please let us just do it.
Please.
with cancel culture out there, this is the last
Ford.
show ever. Thank you very much.
You know what? I really enjoyed your podcast with Ford. Not your guys' podcast with Ford when John left the room. That was so funny. Have you guys? Have you had
What
comments
happened?
about that?
No,
What
Oh
happened?
my
One,
god,
two,
that was
three.
so funny. When John had to leave the room and you and Ford were here on this couch.
Yes, what are we
Me
talking
and
about?
Hamish were talking about this the other night. We were just laughing about it. Just the banter you guys have with one another.
Right, yeah.
And then you're like, Ford was like, oh, what's that move that you do, Leo? And you're like, oh, the flop.
the flop, that's it.
And you go, oh, maybe I should. What should I do, Ford? And he goes, oh, maybe learn some technique. But just the way it went down.
He's like that on the mat, though. That's
Oh
what
my
it's like
God, it's
rolling.
The other
with
day
him.
we were like, what are you guys doing? I don't know. I was just turning around. I just heard this massive thump again on the mat. It's like you guys again, like thumping the mat, going, let's get his attention again, like as we do.
It was a big hand slap. So
Yes, yeah.
When we
like,
started,
geez,
when I had to start the syllabus of that 2.5 minutes, and the first takedown I do, that single leg takedown, and Ford slams the mat, I nearly lost it and nearly started laughing. But because you guys did it so well, so serious, sharp techniques, and I didn't want to be that one that's just like, "Wah!" And after I was like, you dick. And he's like, I was trying to make you look good. But yeah.
best
But no, he's witty like that on
best
the
duo,
mat.
those two.
yeah, no, I think it's definitely the best.
Small ounces of him is enough. So yeah, no. pretty good. Nah, he's all good. Anyway, sir,
funny, mate.
I think we're getting to that time.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
I want to say it's a pleasure having you in the club.
Thanks, mate.
You're a very good addition. You smash me, which is great. You got long legs, is what I
Hopefully I
told you the other night. I was like, man, your
Yeah.
legs are too long. You seem to find ways to hook me and wrap them around. This is how it starts to sound like a cult.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's great. It's great that
Thanks,
you've
man.
just popped out of nowhere and become part of the family.
Yeah, it's been great. I love it. Yeah, good club. I recommend it
Mm.
to anybody. Yep.
Yes.
I like when I reached out to John. He was like, I was at that club that was quite competitive, so I was and I really enjoyed that. And I asked John, I said, oh, what do you guys do with? How big are you on competitions? And John was like, oh, I think he talked it down quite a lot because since I've joined, I think you guys do more competitions than you guys are more involved with competitions than the previous.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah,
I think it's
more
just kind of
active in it.
naturally. I think it's naturally
It's
kind of
naturally
happened.
come
It's- Yeah.
But you probably don't push it as much. You just let the guys do it.
Yep.
If they want to do it, that's cool.
Yep.
You support them, but there's no. Well, it's really good.
Yep. No, it's been great having you, and awesome to see you progress. I think that's been like a real joy for me to see you. I think like you coming in and then learning that syllabus as well as you did has been amazing.
Thanks.
So yeah, no, it's been awesome. So no, it's very well deserved. Your blue belt, and yeah, can't wait to see you guys just progress even more.
Keep on going, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So,
definitely not here for the short term unless something serious happens. But yeah,
Yep. No, it's good.
No, you've broken enough fingers, ribs,
Yeah.
knees, so you're good.
Yeah.
You're good now.
I'm good.
We'll see you on the mat.
Yeah,
All right.
cool.
Nice. All right. Awesome. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Thanks, Kristoff.